Yo guys, what is going on? It's your boy Katanas here, and I'm coming at you guys with another video. This is not a super meta team or anything crazy like that. It's just something I threw together. I thought it was fun. It's kind of a variation of another team I was kind of looking at, but I don't really want to just steal some other YouTubers' teams. I really want to come up with something myself, and I managed to go 4-for-1 with this set. I think this was the first set I even tried, and I did another set. I got a 3-for-5, so nothing too crazy. That one had a little in it, but this one was as my first set. Thought it was pretty good to show off to you guys because I do make some mistakes and still pull off some wins. It's a good showcase of a team that even though I was pretty inexperienced using it and make a lot of mistakes, it still works extremely well. The only problem with this team is you really gotta watch out for where you're putting that Gallade. So mainly Empoleon is not a Pokemon that does well with 2 shields. It's not like a Talonflame you want to leave in the back with 2 shields and start spamming out with it, unless you like have a hard read on what he has and you know you've calculated it all. But it's not generally a Pokemon you want to save 2 shields and get into that situation. So for most times you will kind of want to use it up and then let the Gallade and Drifblim in the back kind of do its thing because it is a good combo. But sometimes you're gonna see, like in this one, I needed to commit a shield on that Empoleon. So there are definitely times where you probably are not gonna want to just let that Empoleon go, and this time was one. It's tough against that Drifblim because you'll catch them icy wind baiting sometimes, but mainly they do just kind of go for Shadow Ball. So freaking dog's going crazy. Okay, going for the Shadow Ball here. This battle is just a loss. So this one is just an example of what I could have did better, which is not every time can you just let Empoleon die and, faint, and just expect to be able to be perfectly fine in the back because, well, Bastiodon exists. And this trainer had a very good combo of Munchlax and Bastiodon, which left this team defenseless, so very well played to that opponent. But we're going to be jumping into the next, and we're going to show you guys that I'm going to show you guys that this team is very, very well, it's very fun. If you didn't see from the thumbnail, it's got a lot of versatility. And in terms of Hisuian Cup, no, I'm not running any Hisuian Pokemon, so it's not like it's anything crazy. But Gallade and Empoleon are definitely 2 of my favorite Pokemon, so that was really kind of where this started off. Just wanted to get those 2 in there. And I was trying around with some other stuff. I think a team like this exists with Empoleon, Drifblim, and Gliscor, I think was what it was. And I do have a Shadow Hundo Gliscor that I was thinking of using, but again, that was another YouTuber who was and it wasn't like a big YouTuber. I wouldn't feel so bad like taking it from maybe a big YouTuber. It's not like I'm stealing his views or anything like that, but he was another smaller content creator. So I just thought, well, I kind of want to do my own thing. So going for this Leaf Blade here. Leaf Blade still does very good damage to Frostless. 2 Leaf Blades will KO Frostless, and with all that confusion, you can confusion damage. Most of the times, if you go into this matchup pretty fresh, you can kind of just farm up, shield 1 Avalanche, and then go right before he gets to 2, and then you win CMP as long as you have, like mine is a kind of high attack. Gallade is still like a rank 300 and some, so it's still pretty good, but winning CMP against that if you farm up and then go for 2 Leaf Blades in a row before they reach the second Avalanche. So that is a good way to deal with Frostless on Gallade. But here you can see that we're locked into a Toxicroak, and I'm going for an Icy Wind just because I know I'm going to get a bunch of farm anyways. This doesn't do a crazy bunch of damage, but I can still guarantee that I'll get a lot of farm, and I won't have to worry about dying super fast to Frostless, or fainting super fast to Frostless, sorry, once it comes out. So, going to be able to hold on to a lot of energy, looking really good. Going for another Sludge Bomb, but that does nothing at this point. Almost at 2 Icy Winds. Going to come right out with the Icy Wind, I believe, yes. The Frostless is so low that I'm pretty sure this just kind of KOs, plus with fast attack damage that I have. Yep. And yeah, just gonna swap and don't even need to use the charge move. That's a GG's. This team was really fun to use in just the fact that like Drifblim is really kind of well, even if you throw it into a matchup where it's kind of one of those Pokemon where yeah, it's kind of bait dependent, but also the bait has the attack drop, right? So but also it has use. Like for example, Gliscor has no choice but to shield an Icy Wind. So it has a lot of versatility. It has a lot of matchups that it can flip if you can play it right. But anyways, here into the Gallade. This is a Pokemon that pretty much like Empoleon doesn't necessarily do great against it if you look just at the raw stats, but you know, you look at the way people play it, and usually they don't build up to the close combat. Usually they kind of go before, so you can kind of already tell. But either way, I'm gonna go for the Hydro Cannon here and force a shield or take it out, and they decide to let go. And that is why I'm okay with just letting that go, though. Coming in with the Gallade, they are not built. This trainer is just this battle honestly like would have been probably lost if this guy had played to his baits correctly. Like if he just built up all of his energy and then just threw bait moves. Like the chances are I was gonna shield them. It's not like I was guaranteed to, but the chances are. Anyways, coming into a Confusion Cresselia here, which actually I didn't realize until a little bit later on when I was actually playing it. But going for the Icy Wind, hoping that they're going to shield it up for a Shadow Ball, but no, this is an absolute mad lad. And I'm going to shield this up because I assume there's no way that he'll bait me here, and he actually does. So this guy is finally making me think a little bit. Anyways, just going to go for another Icy Wind here. Even if he lets it go, I can kind of just farm down with all these attack drops. And they actually shield that one up, so that's really good for me. No point in shielding this at any point. Even if it is like a Moon Blast or Future Sight, I don't think it KOs, but Grass Knot does nothing. Just going to go for another Icy Wind. Screw it. And they shield that one up too. That was very surprising. Coming back in with Lucario. I remember this. I just go for close combat. I could have just went for Leaf Blade there. In hindsight, like just go for Leaf Blade there. Gallade does so much damage anyways. I could have just did one more Confusion. They probably, like, I don't think they reached. I think at the time I just thought they had more energy. It doesn't matter though because I'm going to reach this Leaf Blade and that's going to be a good game. But Shadow Ball is somewhere around 8 or 9 counters, I think, and he was nowhere near that. So I could have just farmed up one more Confusion, and then if he threw, it was a Power Punch anyways, and then I could have just farmed down, or I just went for a Leaf Blade after one more Confusion before he reached Shadow Ball. But either way, that's a GG's. Moving into the next. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you've noticed that yet, but actually I am climbing back up to a veteran rank again. I mean, obviously I can't actually lose it, but you know, I don't really feel like a veteran when I'm below 2,500, so I'm glad to be back in the Great League, where I can actually do something. Alrighty, starting off against Babarial. This is a very good matchup. I have lost a matchup one time to a Babarial that was running Hyper Beam. No tips to anyone, but that does a lot of damage. It did over half HP, I think, to my Empoleon. Like, like, this guy doesn't farm up very much, but basically they farmed up, like, right before I got to 2, which you should be doing pretty much every time anyways. Farming up right before, like, the other opponent gets to 2 moves, especially if you know that your Pokemon actually has, which you should know, if it has a move that is a nuke, essentially. Hyper Beam obviously being a nuke. I didn't even know it had it. I knew it had Hyper Fang. I've seen that. You still win the matchup with Empoleon if it has Hyper Fang, but it does not win if it has Hyper Beam. So I learned that the hard way. So just a tip for anybody who, you know, might be in that situation using that Pokemon. Build up to, or honestly, that just applies to any Pokemon, right? Like, just build up a lot of extra energy. If your Pokemon has a nuke move, even if you aren't running it, right? Like, make people think. Because if you don't, then you're kind of handing them just a free battle. They can guarantee what moves you're going to make, then you're not putting any pressure on them. I think that's something that a lot of people don't really understand. Because people say, like, pressure. They always talk about pressure and battles, but you think about pressure just as, like, just this feeling you have that just, but, like, everybody, that's just, like, anxiety. That's not what we're talking about. When we talk about pressure, we're talking about the part of that anxiety, which is literally, like, holy crap, like, this guy is in my head kind of thing. Like, you are thinking something, you try to predict what the opponent is thinking, what they're doing, like, and then just the moment that you play to that, what you've assumed that they're going to do, and then they do something completely different, and then that's when you think, holy crap, they're in my head. That's the pressure that we're talking about. So anyways, that is a good game there. Moving into the last one. I know I don't do it all the time too, and there's probably gonna be some people that put in the comment section like, "Oh, well, talking about all this stuff, but you don't do it." Sometimes I'm better at coaching people than I am actually doing things. As you can see, I'm not a super high rank, but I know what I'm talking about, even if I don't always execute perfectly. And that's the thing, right? Like, nerves are a thing. They get to you. Even if you make a mistake or something, right? Like, you're gonna make it a couple more times in the future, but every time you do it, just don't beat yourself up about it. That's a big thing, right? Like, don't, like, hate yourself for it. There's a lot of people that, like, I actually remember in Sylph one time, like, one guy literally called me a psychic. Like, he said, "You're psychic, you totally read my every move," and I kind of was, but that's because I was willing to accept the other option, essentially, right? It wasn't like I was like, not every one of them was I'm putting my entire life on the line. It was like, if you do this, I still have an out. I can still play to something, but this would be the optimal option. So don't beat yourself up about it. Learn from everything. That's the great thing about recording these battles and stuff, honestly, for me, is that this is the most learning I get to do. And I find that when I try to help other people, I tend to help myself more. So, like, anyways, now this is not like a great matchup, but this is not terrible. I'm gonna go for the extra farm to get ahead. I don't really care about the attack debuff at this point, since I can kind of just beat Shadow Ball and they'll probably just shield it. Plus they went Shadow Ball, so now this is absolutely one. I can go for 2 moves here before they can reach one, most likely, at least. I have a pretty high attack Drifblim, and actually I think I'm still ahead in energy anyways. And Leaf Blade from Gallade, even though obviously it's resisted, it still does actually quite a bit, so not too worried. Going for this Icy Wind, and yeah, they're just gonna let it go. Or sorry, that was it. Coming into Toxicroak here. I believe they might have made it to a Sludge Bomb there. Whether it KO'd or not, I actually don't know. I know it would have been close, but either way, that is going to be a good game. Very well played. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, I just want to say, like, it would help very much if you guys subscribed, liked, commented. But I just want to say that I'm really glad that you guys were here, if you stuck it to this long. I hope you guys learned something. If you did, make sure to put in the comment section, like, if there was anything that helped you out with this. If there's anything you want to see me do, if there's a specific team, if there's a theme that you want to see me do. Guys, I'm up to suggestions. I see a lot of people doing stuff like that, and I think that's really cool, but obviously I'm still a pretty small channel, so just trying to build up for now. But anyways, I hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, actually, I think we just have our rank pop up here. We'll just show this real quick. Yeah. Alrighty. Just wanted to show that real quick. Later.